Hello, everybody. It is another Major One matchup for us. We're still in group play. We got, um, let's see, we got Vegas in Philadelphia. I can't remember which one it was there. I guess right. Vegas, Philadelphia. Philadelphia already won a match earlier in this week. So looking at these two teams, it's gonna be an exciting one. Kind of trying to see what we got going on here. Um, as far as teams go. But first of all, let's take a look at the Las Vegas Vipers roster. Anything jump out at you so far?
Um, I, I don't know anything about Zumbo and Diversum. Uh, those are two completely different players from any one that nice skill shots that I have talked about. I know Honori personally. He's a player to watch out for. Um, I've known him from back in MW19. He was solid.
All right. Yeah, so Vegas Vipers obviously brought owned by Skilled Gods founders, Skill Shots there. Then we got the Philadelphia Uncaged owned by Team Unvanquished. Pretty solid roster. Like I said, they took a win earlier this week in the group. Here's a look at their roster: Swag Check, Duck, Chicani, and Shadow. I know we had a few of these guys last year. Actually made it to the grand finals of our playoffs. Didn't end up winning that
Mm-hmm.
one, but it's pretty solid roster. Anything jump out to you when you're looking at this?
I mean, where do I start? In, from what I hear about the first match, I mean that was something else. You got Select Check who came out hot. I think Shadow, from what I hear, went out hot, and
Yeah, Shadow also had a
you know,
pretty solid series as well. That first one against Toronto. Um, he had a really good control. We'll have
that's
to
solid.
look out for him in the control. So honestly, if you're
And you
Philly, you're in a spot right now. You win tonight, you're securing yourself going to the bracket, regardless of seeding. In that sense, two wins kind of does that when you're in a four-team group here. So yeah, I think that tonight's a big one for them. I'm sure they're excited to get into it. That being said, let's go to take a look at the maps. Skid Row, High Rise, Karachi, Sub Base, Invasion. We didn't actually see any of these maps in our earlier series, so kind of interesting to see what happens here with these ones. It's gonna
yeah,
taking a look at them.
just
Skid
from
Row
the
Hardpoint is so fundamental in this game. Gonna be interested to see
yeah.
how that one goes.
I mean, I think it's going to come down to pace. Honestly, like I think the pacing for this map set in general is what's really going to take it.
Yeah, for sure. With the High Rise coming in as the second map in the Search and Destroy Karachi Control. Um, Karachi Control is an interesting one, and then a Sub Base Hardpoint ending on Invasion Search. I think it's going to be a struggle. We haven't seen Vipers yet, but they're going to have to come out strong against a pretty solid roster here. Just real quick, let's go ahead and take a look at our player to watch from Philadelphia Uncaged. Our first one of the year. We have some stats here. Let's take a look at Mr. Swag Check from the side of Philadelphia. A 1.65 respawn KD, 3.8 in S&D with 14 non-traded kills. One of probably the more ridiculous stat lines I've ever seen come across my results there. So,
It,
I mean,
in
wow.
the non-traded was in the S&D, right?
Yeah. All the that's all in S&D strat, yeah, or stat. So that was in one S&D. So you got to think if he had 14 non-traded, how was that day going? I mean, this guy, I'm excited to watch him play. I hope he can do the same thing here tonight. Uh I don't know. Maybe I'll write some stuff down for from our old man league here. Not that I could execute it, but at least I'd have it written down.
Right. We might know what we're going up against in the future.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I don't have all the stats up here in front of me right now, but I know he had some pretty decent first blood rate as well. So I expect big things from Swag and the team from Philadelphia tonight. Like I said, Vegas kind of an unknown quantity right now, if I would say so myself. What predictions you got, and how you thinking for this series right now?
I honestly think it's going to be a 3-0 for Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I can definitely see it. I think the optimist in me wants to see Vegas battle. I think their ceiling for a team like this right now is probably taking a map. If you're Vegas, they had just had to switch a fourth pretty recently going into this major. And that's always tough. I mean, especially when you're playing a team like this. Like I said, I think half of them were on a team for us in the league last year about this time.
Mm-hmm.
So you're kind of putting a lot on yourselves. This being your first match is tough. I mean, you got to get out of group play. Only the top 3 teams in each group will get out. So it kind of has to start with the first map, or the first match here. So really for us here, we're just waiting to get into a match, just kind of hanging around till then. I don't have a standings, active standings graphic for you guys, but we can go ahead and take a look at them and read them off to you guys. Not everyone has played, and everybody tonight I have not updated, but Minnesota Dragons played 2 last night, took 2 wins with a 6-1 map count. That was a pretty solid night for them. Yeah. Personally, they seem pretty unstoppable. The only map they did lose was because of a illegal attachment that they ended up having to forfeit the match or the map for. That being said, the Cosmonauts also 3-0 start. They played Hammerheads earlier on in this week. Took that 3-0. Pretty strong from them. And like I said, Philly Uncaged 1-3-1 earlier this week. They're sitting at the 3rd spot in the standings after beating Toronto. Lower in the standings, you got Norseman and Atlanta tied for the 13-14 spot. Both took a map, but weren't able to take the series. Sitting at 0-1 right now. Chicago, Hammerheads, and Chicago's 15th. They're 0-1 with an 0-3 map count. Hammerheads after tonight 0-2 with a 0-6 map count. I guess I could probably figure some of that stuff from what happened earlier. You know what? Why not? Let me go find what happened earlier in the match. If you were with us, you know that Texas won 3-1. If you want to talk about that series a little bit, Siege, real quick for the people at didn't get to watch it or just coming in here now.
So the map pool was map 1 was Terminal, map 2 was Karachi, map 3 was High Rise, and map 4 was Karachi. Yeah, it was Karachi. You had Bandits, Texas Bandits taking it 1-0 within map 1. They just have really solid teamwork and rotations on Boston. Boston just couldn't really keep going towards the latter half of the map. Then you had map 2, which got really exciting. Texas Bandits started off going 5-1, and then Boston brought it back to round 11, which closed out in a 2-1 for Bandits, taking the round 11. Then map 3 was just a solid 3-1 for the side of Boston. they really outplayed and got Texas made Texas start questioning themselves. Um, and then you had Matt Ford, where Bandits just played really fundamental compared to Boston after the first rotation and just took it away.
Yeah. Everything we saw there, probably looking like Texas going pretty happy in. That's the first Group B matchup, so they're at a 1-0 advantage right now. Looking good here early on. Solid for both teams, though. I think Boston will be fine, honestly, at the end of it. It's just a few things here and there, some teamwork things that we saw early on, not quite working out. And for the match, we didn't have casted, but was played earlier at the same time as the other one. Go ahead and take a look. It was New York Kings, who are in the Group 1 versus Hawaii Hammerheads. As I said, lost, or New York Kings won 3-0. Hawaii lost their second match, which is a tough one, especially, like I said, top 3 get out, so kind of put yourself in a pretty bad spot going down 0-2. Pretty dominant from New York, winning the hard point 250 to 126, and the S&D 6-3, control 3-0. Hawaii probably gonna, if they can't get a win here in group play, probably gonna have to consider some roster changes going forward.
Yeah, that's a rough show.
I mean, you never know going.
League is competitive.
Yeah,
you
never know going into a new league with a new team and a new game. So I'm sure they'll figure it out. It's tough to start off like that, you know?
Oh yeah, and really, who are the teams in that bracket?
So the teams in Group A are New York Kings, Columbus Cosmonauts, Hawaii Hammerheads, and the LA Glitch. So that is the.
And they just haven't played the LA Glitch left yet.
Yeah, they have the LA Glitch left to play. That's going to be a good matchup. LA has yet to play, but I'm sure they're going to get to it coming up here soon. That's being said, more in that group. Tomorrow, we got a matchup between the two 1-0 teams in Group A, Columbus Cosmonauts and the New York Kings. So it's going to be interesting to see.
That might be an exciting one.
Yeah, I'm excited to get into this match. As I said, let's go ahead and take a look back at the maps while we wait to get into a lobby here. Might have to send it to a short break, but Skid Row, High Rise, Karachi, Sub Base, Invasion. Do you see any window here for Vegas, or where do you think they could possibly get in? For me personally, I know a few of the players probably are pretty decent at search and destroy. So other than Swag being an absolute beast, if he can't put up a 19 kill performance again tonight, his teammates didn't do all that well in search. I can see a window there where Vegas might be able to take advantage.
Well, that's a tough one because what map did they play before on S&D?
You
know,
man, I had it and I will find it real quick, but let me see. Can't remember.
Because if it's a similar map, it might
it was
end up being
Karachi,
very similar.
So it was Karachi.
Yeah, it might be similar. Because High-Rise kind of plays somewhat similar in a weird way to High-Rise on S&D at least. I imagine Philly kind of improved from the first match. It might have been first match jitters. It might have been, they just haven't practiced S&D, which is very likely the case because nobody really practices S&D because people are always scared of everybody taking strats stuff and getting info and only practice the response.
That's a very good point there.
So there's a chance they clean up a couple things going into this one, and especially after already having had a series, unlike the Vipers. I can't I can't imagine really the series being too close. Oh,
All right, let's see if I can get an invite.
is
Here.
there some is there some word going around?
Some word going around. Oh no, is there?
Yeah, a lot of notifications are coming across my screen.
Oh yeah, no. We just I'm just trying to get them to put me into the actual lobby so we can cast a match and, actually enjoy some Call of Duty to end our lovely Friday nights. So we're just waiting on that. Don't know when that's gonna happen. It is time for the game though, so let's see. Oh, there we go. Bam. See, all you gotta do is ask Siege if you want put into a lobby.
Yeah,
Looks like
I don't know, some people kind of finicky.
so they just
Looks
messaged me and
like-
said they're finishing up the other team's probably, I think, finishing up a match, something like that. They're gonna start like a couple minutes late. So with that being said, unfortunately, we're gonna send you to a real quick break. But we'll be back a couple minutes. We'll bring you back a little bit before we get right into it.
some time. I don't really know why I try, but I don't wanna know. I don't wanna know why. Promise me, 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 promise me. Been looking around for some time. I don't really know why I try, but I don't wanna know. I don't wanna know why. Promise me, 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 promise me.
All right, everyone, we're out of the break here. We're getting into the lobby. So a little bit of updates going on here for the teams. Las Vegas, what's up? Is actually the man in the chat. Demente is going to be subbing in for those guys. So excited to see what they got going on with that here coming up. And also, let me go to pull up the Philly roster. I don't know who he's subbing for, but there is a substitute for Philadelphia Uncaged. All I know is that Shadow is going to be there, and so is their substitute Space. So it could be interesting to see what that affects. I know if Space is in for Swag, that could change everything for them. So going to be interesting to see who he's in for.
Yeah, I mean, out of the four, for judging from the last performance, you'd have to hope it'd be the what's his name, the CO something. Yeah,
is that what you're talking about?
I would
Yeah,
think, huh?
there's a chance
Yeah.
it's that. You just never know. I mean, it's hard to tell these days because a lot of it's availability. I mean, COD at this level is often played after work for most people, after school, in between things. At this point, I'd have to assume somebody couldn't be there. I don't think they would make a roster change after winning 3-0 or 3-1. Even though some people had some performances, you'd think you'd like to stick with that formula. So, regardless of the reason, they are running a substitute tonight, as of what I'm looking at right now. Everything else, though, we're still waiting on them to be in the lobby. Obviously, there is a time window when forfeits may occur, but we're not there yet. It's still early enough for us to keep calm. Unfortunately, we've been filling broadcast time for 30 minutes. Never a big fan of that as somebody that doesn't like talking as much as most. So, I don't know. I don't know what to talk about with you guys. Any new restaurants you try? Any good movies out? There's not a whole lot for us to really get on about until we have stats. You know, that's the nice part about this year keeping stats. When we get later on in the year, we're going to have those to look at. But as of now, Vegas hasn't played, and
Probably,
Philly pretty
probably in
much
about another month.
has
Philly will
dominated.
be
I
on.
mean, I guess I can try to do something with those stats here in a little bit, but let me go ahead and see what we got going on.
I mean, did you ever pull up the map 2 from their last match? Because I got some interesting stats from what
Yeah,
you told me.
for the search and destroy, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, Shadow went 6-4, Duck went 4-5, and Chicani went 0-6, which, when you think about it, is kind of crazy for when you win a 6-3 search. If you're looking at their overall here, they got a pretty solid KDs for most modes. I don't know what is going on over here in this other chat.
And do you notice
Oh, go ahead.
Swag has the record? And then what does Swag go for the record?
Oh, 19-5 for that search, if that's what you're talking about.
And isn't that the S&D record so far for the league?
Yeah, I can put some records in there. I was gonna give it a week, but I think I don't know if anyone's gonna beat him this week. I think he's gonna end up having it. If I had to guess, if we're looking at their overall stats from that first series, he has Swag sitting at a 1.8, Shadow at a 1.5, and then Duck and Chicani. Duck had a 0.6, and Chicani had a 0.39. So you're looking at a vulnerable squad at certain ends, unless those guys can step up here. I mean, I know Vegas probably still a little, probably a little undervalued here coming into it. I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything. But that being said, I don't think Philly is unbeatable as well when you got players putting up numbers in that lower range there.
Right. That's huge.
Yeah, balance is a big part here, especially when you're going against some of these top teams in the league. You're going to need to make sure you're on your P's and Q's. Everyone's putting in at least something towards the effort, because it's tough to have when it's players are going down. That being said, interesting stat here. They played two hard points, right? Because they won 3-1. Chicani, 7 minutes and 10 seconds in time. So, don't know how that worked.
Chicani had 2 minutes and 7 seconds?
No, 7 minutes in time. Which is like, isn't that like the maximum you can have? Isn't he like only in time at that point? I mean,
So it's okay. So it's 3 minutes for 180. So it's really close to being full on time.
so I mean, Chicani was just like, all right, well, you go sit in time. We'll see you later. He had 3:39 in the first map.
Oh my god.
And then he had 3:31 in the second. So at least he's contributing on that side. I mean, doesn't hurt when you got a player willing to do the dirty work like that. You do wish the kill total would go up, but hey, I mean, if that's what
It's kind of hard
if that's
like
their
that.
system, that's kind of how it's gotta be.
And that, I'm gonna speak straight. That's a very traditional system. Like typically, like an old school system, right? And even just a few years ago, you typically had an OBJ player. You had an anchor. You had a slayer, and you had just a flex. You know, whenever you had the OBJ guy, typically they're going to typically go negative, but they have the hill time because they're typically not going to have a whole bunch of engagements, and the rest of the team just plays around them, and the anchor just gets spawns and gets blows down range, and that I don't know. Did they kind of play similar to that if they were playing it like that? Because these days it's constantly just about filling in the gaps.
Yeah, usually you don't see many pure OBJ and Slayer broken down as much as usual. I'm trying to get us in this lobby here. This is the most dysfunctional thing I've seen. And we've been playing COD for quite some time, and we know how these lobbies work. Nobody knows who's hosting. I don't know what's going on. Let's take a look at Vegas once again roster. If you want to go ahead and talk, we know the Tempesta, aka Demente, subbing in here. I don't know what
was
the way
the
is done.
Exotics?
And then skill shots. We know him from the past. What do you expect from these guys? Obviously, you'd say they're probably much better at search, but what are you looking at here while I get us in this lobby?
So, okay. So I saw the Exotics was in there. And I know Tempesta, Demente. I know skill shots. I don't know the other guy. I don't know the get your weight up. So that dude's a complete anomaly to me. But from what I know, the S&D would probably be their game mode. But I'll speak it straight. It's not going to be high tier gameplay on their side. Exotics tends to have a consistency issue. He might pop off the map, and then he might go negative by a decent bit the next. You never know with him. And then if it's Tempesta playing, he might, to his credit, he might play a decent bit, but there's certain holes in his game that I'm not sure if he's worked through or not. So it's a team full of holes, from what I gather.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Oh, man, it will not let me in. All right. Let us figure this out.
Yeah, probably put it to break for now.
Fair enough. I will unfortunately be sending you guys to a break. Sorry, lobby stuff. It's, I guess, early. We'll get back to you, and we'll probably be going right into the map next time. We're out of filler, I'd say. Alright, guys, we're going to be getting into it right about now. We're all in the lobby. So, wrong map set, my bad.
It looks like Swag checked is in.
Yeah, Swag is in,
Connie's here
Duck is
too.
out. So we'll have to see how that changes things.
And Chaconi was the one with the time, right?
Yeah, Ciccone was the one with the time, so we'll see if anything the switch changes for these guys.
And I think Space tends to play relatively solid traditionally.
Yeah, I think
If
we've
I
seen him
remember correctly.
before. Overall, we're going to the Skid Row Hardpoint. I don't know what to expect here. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it's gonna be a hot start from Uncaged, unless I see otherwise. Is going to be my assumption through this match.
Mhm.
I wasn't able to watch the full what happened with the Toronto match, but I know they played well outside of that control. So, maybe they're a bad control team, or maybe that's kind of shows the imbalance in their slaying as a weakness here. We'll have to find out and see if Vegas is going to be one of those teams that can exploit that. Oh boy, we should be ready.
Yeah. Should be.
We ready.
Go ahead. Do you have the game set up going through this?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah. Can you not hear it?
No, I don't.
Okay. That reminded me. I appreciate you, kind sir, known as Siege.
I think it was off last time too.
It is. It's in the broadcast. However, it is apparently.
Okay, that's fine. I just never thought about it. But we're going to start off with Swag Check here, the MVP of their last match. You got him going for P2 spawns against skill shots here, but he's going to relocate towards steps and try to make a play on skill shots here.
Yeah, it looks like Vegas breaks
there.
Oh, my bad. I was watching the wrong screen. Looks like Vegas is gonna break into the P1, but overall they're kind of losing that battle over back down towards the P2 side of that, which is pretty important. P1 time's nice, but at the end of the day, you want this P2 rotation.
Oh yeah, P2's such a strong money hill, especially if you can manage to spawn them out towards through tunnel or through P3, depending on how you hold it. It looks like they're going to try to spawn them towards P3 and P over here. This number one's about to go through the tunnel.
What is being run on this gun? I have no clue. I have never seen an otter class than that. Have you? I mean, that is something really.
That looks like a drum mag and a weird ass.
I don't know if any of that's legal. But overall, I mean, you're looking at. That's a key thing you gotta notice when you're looking at some of these teams. Knowing the actual classes are very important when it comes down to it. Team preparedness. Right now, Philly's just running away with it. I mean, where you got Demente hitting old here, probably not the best decision to rotate best because now you're gonna look at it and the other side has it. Shadow pushed up. Probably gonna get a pick here. It's hard to tell where he's at. Oh, there he is. Okay.
And he's got his cruise missile.
Yeah, he's got his cruise and
This is
Uncage is flowing right
this
now.
is looking like. Well, Chaconi's already got him in the hill.
Ciccone loves
This
his
game's
Hill
barely
time.
started.
He's got to be the Hill time mayor of the NCE League. He's probably going to be leading those stats all year long if he keeps that up. Also not doing terrible in the kill category here, so.
Oh, nice skill shots with a rough start right now.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's tough to start on a donut in your first match. I mean, I know they're having some lobby issues, but probably could have been in the firing range or something. Who knows? It's hard to tell. Swag just kind of sitting in this garage area, trying to get some
Got
spawn kills.
himself a cruise missile.
And they're gonna have
this
rotation as
is
well here.
water.
So, I mean, Vegas in the risk of getting 10-point clubbed here. And we're gonna follow Swag till he dies because he's on 10, and I'd like to see how far he can go.
This can get really nasty real quick. Okay. There's not a whole lot to really
Yeah, there's not a whole lot
commentate here.
to break down, talk about. Not.
They're just holding and getting kills.
Yeah, team nade from
And
skill
team kill
shots.
from skill shots.
That doesn't help. I don't think he realizes those don't go into the coaches, unfortunately. Still on the 0 there. He's gonna probably be the only one on this rotation. Might get some help a little down the line. So I'm gonna switch to him. I know I still staying on Swag, but I want to see if skill shots gets a kill here, and I want to see if they get more than a kill. Oh no.
Oh man.
Oh no. Oh boy. That got out of hand real quick. Swag is just having the best day of his life. He's 21-2.
He is 16 kill streak. He's padding his stats.
I was gonna say
He might drop a nuclear at this
he might
rate.
go nuclear. He's definitely padding his stats because it'd be pretty tough. Chicani also improving some of the stats from last time. Shadow, little known, 14-1. Is he the one running the weird ass rival? Or did he pick it up? I can't.
Get your weight up is
Okay, get your way with this. I don't really think it's helping if any of that stuff is illegal, but we'll let it go after this
18,
match.
19. They're just slaying at this point. They're just
Yeah,
staying off the hill and just getting kills.
this may be one of the more
They
cool
know,
things.
they
I've
know
seen.
he's. God
I mean,
dang,
we
dude.
have been
Oh, nuclear.
on the side of some brutal matchups. You know we have, but this got to be up there. I mean, I've rarely seen it this bad from a
This
pure
is
slaying
so-
category. If I'm being honest.
This is the one thing I'm glad I've never had happen to me.
And you know, one
Within
thing
the
that's
series.
kind of shocking, Demente doing the best as a substitute for the Vipers here. So,
And he was a last minute substitute. Oh my god.
yeah, last minute sub. Swag up to 23.
Oh.
I hate just watching Swag, but there's not much else to watch. Swag is everything and everywhere, so
Oh my
there
god.
we go. He
I've never
falls
been so I don't think I've ever been so disgusted.
disgusted. Oh my. We whipped out the disgusted. That's not good.
Like, oh man.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I get some teams aren't as prepared as always going into a match. It happens. You just like
Especially
to
on the
see-
beginning of the year.
especially beginning of the year, but you'd like to see a little more of a fight here, especially with you know, you've had all offseason to build a roster you think can compete. So, you know,
He's got a 10 KD right
maybe
now.
they're gonna do something in a search. Is the hope? I mean, at least from our end, we like watching Call of Duty. I don't know though. I don't know anymore.
This hasn't even been a learning experience here. It's
I mean,
just
it's
been
an
a
experience. I don't know how much you can learn from something like that, but hey, no full like ragging on Vipers here, but I mean Philly, put them to task. I mean, look at those numbers all around the board.
30 and
Shots
3, 23
eventually
and
gets
2,
past.
24 and 7.
I mean, getting past get your weight up here is kind of impressive. I think that's Diversum, this whatever his name is on the actual roster sheet. For those of you wondering, like I said, all these people have different names once you actually get in the match. So, but yeah, brutal, brutal for us to watch, and I'm sure not great to experience either. Let's go ahead and it's not wrong score.
Oh, yeah.
0-1.
You know what's going to happen in the
Uncaged.
trash competition later.
What? Oh,
You know what's going to happen in the trash talk session later.
yeah. They might. Vipers might want to stay away from the trash talk discussion. We all know how those quickly turn against you. That being said, they still got 2 more maps here at the very minimum. If they can't, I don't know, maybe plug the controller in, try the like Wi-Fi unplug, plug back in hack, maybe do something to that
DDoS.
effect. You never know what you could do to improve
Get
your
into
luck.
their controllers and
So yeah, we're going into
and like completely reform their controllers,
a
their
higher
screens,
S&D here. So.
everything. Oh my god. That's probably gonna be the highest streak of the year.
Yeah.
God.
We'll have to see, but I don't see many people breaking that one.
Oh, that was like a 23. Yeah, it was about 23. God. Are you guys hosting?
Oh yeah, they were wondering if we're switching hosts. We are not. That being said, I don't think we're switching sides either on the team, so I'm good with that lobby. I mean, you see a map going the other way, or I mean a round going the other way here, or what are you thinking?
No. I think they're just gonna come out hot and just molly with them.
I mean, that's a fair prediction. Like I said, I'm trying not to be a little too harsh on these guys, but that is a absolutely brutal start, and you hate
I
to
think
see
that
it.
kind of forces your hand, though.
Yeah, you absolutely hate to see
Like,
it. Let's follow Demente here on the search. See if they got anything in the bag here for get themselves a search round or 2. Something that, get themselves back into the... Because that's tough. That's a tough way to go. Nobody likes getting 20-point club, and looks like get your weight up gonna get picked here early on. Okay. Well then, and the one man I chose to follow is going before. See how he does. Able to find anything.
And they're also really oh yeah, this is brutal.
Pretty brutal. Able to find one though.
Oh,
Don't know if there's any hope for the round, but at least hope for a possible brighter future if you keep Demente on your roster. Unfortunately, though, keep in mind, rosters do lock, so this will be the Vipers we see for the entirety of Major 1. That's kind of how it's set up. I would like some wiggle room there so players could adjust slightly, but that's kind of how it's set up for this first Major. So, we'll see. We'll see if they're able to do anything here. Let's go ahead and follow Swag Checked, actually. I want to see the search and destroy record holder at the moment if he's able to grow that at all. Looks like Shadow's going to take
I mean,
it off. He's pushing around here in the back. Might find one. Probably going to find the second. Yep. There he goes.
or
Was that an ace for him?
I think it was a nice. Nope, it was 3.
3. Okay. But either way, wow. I mean, solid work there. And I just hate to see it. I got no real horse in the race as far as who wins it, but I just like seeing the close matches. We haven't seen a game 5 quite yet, and I don't think today is going to be that day, based on how it's looking. Let's follow Shadow here, hitting deep. Where is he at on the map? I think he's going to fall off the map. Oh no, he's not. Okay.
Oh. Okay. This is a route and a half.
He's hitting them routes. Some semblance of life coming in with a few kills for Vipers, but in a 1v2 now, gonna get taken down.
Oh man.
Holy brutal. Oh man. I'm struggling here with the cast because I don't really know what to say. It's
There's
few matches in our league are usually as one-sided as this. I mean, even the smoke shows, at least a map gets a little dicey at a certain point. So
yeah, whether it be in the beginning, the middle, the very end.
usually like
it's
a hard point starts off close, and then a team runs away with it and runs away with the rest of it. And yeah, we'll keep on with Shadow here, see if he keeps cooking.
And this isn't even this. There's not even strategy involved in this. It's like just flat out water.
It's just ruthless aggression, honestly. Honestly, kind of gotta feel bad for Demente. I'm sure he's excited to be put in a match here, but you're subbing in to an absolute bit of a train wreck as far as the match goes here. And you're probably doing the best on the team right now.
Oh, he is.
Gotta be questioning a few things here.
That's why.
Because you're down 4-0. And 2 players on a donut still. Fortunate for those guys. Let's see if they can get off of that. Never want to end on that. Even if you lose the game. Not able to get a single kill is a tough one to swallow at the end of the match.
Oh man. God.
Pretty sure
He's put a sight on this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Striker.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's GA'd.
I don't know. I think. I don't know.
I'm not gonna be the guy that says it matters. But on future notice, please, for the love of God, is even if you're slamming a team or getting slammed, do not break GAs, because then I'm gonna get messages, and the league's gonna get messages, and we're gonna be like, well, what's up with that? And then I'm gonna have to start coming up with some decisions here. But once again, I'm not being as strict this first week on GAs, but once we get into the actual bracket and we're going up into an actual situation here where, you know, money's going to be on the line, you will forfeit and lose maps and games for breaking GAs. So keep that in mind, everyone, if you're watching in play.
Yeah, that's
that guy for your team, especially if you won the map and you kind of costed when you shouldn't have. This is a different situation, but it happened a couple times yesterday where people were just unaware of certain GAs. Trophy GAs are pretty usually broken because, I mean, who follows that? And that being said, Uncaged wins 6-0. Yeah, not really a whole lot to go off of there. I think that it's a clear, I mean, if there ever was one, there's a clear GG go next. Shadow 13-1. Swag 3-1. Let his teammates have some fun, I guess, in this one. So yeah.
90, man, 96 damage and 154 damage in 6 rounds.
It's tough. I mean, if we weren't casting, it'd be tough to look at. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I hate seeing a team get put on blast like this. It's like I said, as much as it's not fun for us, it's definitely not fun for them. So I hope they consider making some changes because, like I said, you might have chalked your major one here by coming unprepared. You still got 2 more matches. Regain and try to see what works. I mean, you got this final map here, and unless there's some signs of life,
Which I don't see.
Dominic, I don't think we legally can sub in because rosters have locked after they started it. Demente, keep on keeping on in there. Yeah, no, we aren't. If we thought we could sub in, we'd be playing, not casting. You know what I mean? We're fine out here where we're at for the moment. So we're going into this map number 3, Karachi Control. Yeah, any Karachi notes? Talk about, spice up the conversation. I know we haven't had a whole lot of experience here as far as this new game goes, but any thoughts on the map itself?
I mean, typically on this map it's really fast paced and it can get really dicey. But with this, they'd be lucky to get out of spawn. Especially like as spawn heavy as Control can be.
For sure. I can see that for sure. Here we go. My apologies. Karachi. We're getting right into it. Like to see something here. You never know what you're gonna get in a game like this.
Demente starting out with an AR.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow whoever's rocking the newest streak or is showing me they got something in the tank. Especially if you're from Vipers. I want to follow some Vipers here. See if anyone's showing some signs of life. To avoid a bit of an embarrassing series. Regardless if you're not able to. I mean, at least try to take a round here. And I think you can redeem yourself within the team enough to figure it out down the line.
At this point, I'd be happy with just getting a tick.
I agree with that. I mean, at this point, this is like a skill diff example. One. Skill shots able to get on the board. Good work from him.
Went a little too fast there.
It's a little bit of a cat and mouse game here.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, yeah, we're seeing a little bit. We're seeing a little bit so far. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but...
I don't know if 3 kills is...
No, it's not enough, and on the other side of the map, as you see in the kill feed, they got them in the absolute blender, so... Gonna have to work your way out of this to get back to contest this B point. Tougher than it sounds. I mean, you're absolutely spawning directly in front of these people, and that is never a fun time.
Spawn trap is very possible on this map on both sides, and that's probably like one of the most upsetting things about Control in this game.
Yeah,
like, spawn trap is very possible on both sides.
I think it's fair to say that's the frustrating thing about Control as a whole, as a game mode. Spawn traps are no fun, and it is absolutely miserable playing a game where you're just getting put in the blender. There's nothing worse, really. Kind of what was that, Fortress in last game? Same thing.
Yep.
Different movement. Different character models slightly, but it is... Control is always the same since Cold War, so... Yeah.
Well, that's the thing though. Like Fortress, it was at least like one side that was really heavy with the spawn trap. These maps are you can do the same amount on both sides, even while you're supposed to capture the fucking point. It's, oh god.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. Trying to see what I'm gonna be looking at here.
2-11,
Just an
0-8,
shout out to the clinic here from
1-8. Oh god, Swag is just
Swag is in his bag. He's having a good time. I mean, there's not much stress when you're in a series like this. Once you've kind of found out what the deal is.
on
yeah.
the pad your stats. Like
Yeah, you're thinking stats and maybe a little bit of
History,
fouling
God.
going on. Is this guy using an Uzi?
Yes.
That's awesome. I think that's going on right now. I will love to deal with this announcement later.
It's been Shadow on both times.
Yeah, I know, because the guy's running a drum on a rival, so that's not a great start, but I'm not going to change anything in this match. I think we all see what's going on here. However, once again, if I see this kind of thing in bracket, it's got to be a different story, because we got competitive integrity to hold, at least when it comes down to that. Like I said, this is not going to really change anything here.
Yeah, I think it's kind of obvious.
Especially this, but just please, for the love of God, keep in mind, there's a man behind the scenes that has to maintain sanity while he runs the league. Don't do stuff like this. I mean, yesterday we had the pistol attachment that I had to forfeit a whole map over. Just pay attention. Make sure you're following the rules. That's my only request of you. If you want to follow the rules, show up, get slammed, or do really good. Doesn't matter to me, as long as you follow the rules. Swag 15-4. Shadow 17-4. Also put on a show. Chicani doesn't really have to do much at any point, apparently, is how their team is set up. Other than sit on an objective. I mean, if my life was as nice as Chicani's right now, I mean, he's the COD equivalent of sitting on a beach drinking like a pina colada or something. He's having a good
exactly
time.
Right.
He's just happy to be here. I mean, Demente, gonna see if we can get anything here. It'll be an absolute struggle though.
The point is being captured.
You're just trying to salvage as much as you possibly could as a unit, because like I said, this is game 1. You got 2 more minimum, so you gotta see if
Base
there's
is
any.
not played once yet.
I mean, keep in mind this is a you buy in for this league, so there's stuff on the line here. You gotta figure it out pretty quick, or you're not gonna end up at the playoffs, and nobody wants that to throw away money. I mean, some people might, but not many people I know like throwing away money. We'll switch to Chicani, the most exciting objective point of view in the league. Man knows how to play objective, and he seems to be
on
much
4th Street.
Yeah, Space takes his cruise missile. Gonna see where that lands. Able to find one.
And one other.
And Swag, but I'm sure Swag's not too checked about that. And I think we're wrapping that up as far as this B objective goes. And I think we're also going to veto the decision to probably not do an interview, because I don't really want to hear that. Okay. Y'all crazy. Okay. I assure you, everyone in this match certifiably has thumbs. The use of them is still pending further investigation. As we end this series 3-0.
Oh.
Only lost 20 points in a hard point. I think if you're Philly, you're going into your final match feeling like Superman. Maybe a bad thing because I assure you their next matchup probably will be a little more difficult. I mean, it can't be less, but probably going to be a little more difficult what they're going to be dealing with. You never know, though. Maybe these guys are just, the second coming of a COD.
I mean,
We never know what happens.
Enable technically didn't have a thumb.
Yeah, and he did a little better, I'd say. Not much for us to
He
talk
would
about
do better
here.
now.
Usually we'd break something down. But yeah,
Uh,
3-0 on Cage. They
there's
go up
nothing
2-0 in their group. They have officially locked in. They'll be in the bracket. Where that is depends on how they do. You can't diss them other than the GA breaking because of the ridiculousness of the actual match. But yeah, I mean, tough if you're Vipers. With no real roster moves possible, where do you think you go from here if you're the Vipers? You think you just take Major 1 on the chin and start over?
I would.
I think that's your only move, really.
I don't see them winning any maps against any team in the league.
No, I think you're gonna have a hard time finding a team that's gonna struggle against that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We'll probably get back to casting. There's some more matches this weekend, so stay tuned for updates on our Twitter, in the Discord if you're there, and we'll see if we can get to any casting. But usually depends on when the times are scheduled and all that. Thank you guys once again for watching, and yeah, it was a series, and it's now over. We'll see you guys in